What is going on? We are Wrestling Maniacs Worldwide today. I'm your host, Ben. Don and Dan are taking a break today, and I will be your host today for We Are Wrestling Extras. And we got a little bit of exciting stuff to talk about, and it's for the future of WWE and where they're going to be going creatively in terms of the third hour of Raw. But before we get all into that, make sure that if you are not a We Are Wrestling Maniac yet and are not a part of the thousands worldwide, the best way to support us is by hitting that subscribe button, turning on those post bell notifications. Videos be coming out of nowhere like an RKO, and you already know the grind is real. So now, on this episode of We Are Wrestling Extras, we're going to be diving in on to Nick Khan, the president and CEO of WWE, has stated that NBCU, the owners of Peacock, would support blood during the third hour of Raw if they really, really talked about it. Now, I think where this is coming from is the success and just how brutal Edge and Finn Balor's Hell in a Cell match was at WrestleMania. That was one of the first times in a long time that we've really seen blood. And I love that in a way they really went to lengths to turn that blood purple to almost kind of, make it so it's like not blood. But at least that's what I think I saw. But yeah, this would be kind of big for WWE to really introduce, more blood angles again. We haven't really gotten it since 2008, ever since it became a PG product, which arguably you could definitely see the decrease and downfall, not only as viewership, but of fans. Nowadays with Triple H being in charge since, I think, August of last year, head of creative, we've been going in a more, ruthless aggression era, like we're really starting to kind of divert back to what we've loved so much about the industry. Obviously, as of late, with Vince returning and everything going on like that, it's kind of questionable where we are in the air and what's really solid and what isn't solid news, From what we've heard in some reports and everything, kind of going back from backstage, is that Triple H will remain the head of creative without Vince's hands in the product, so to speak. But no matter what, they kind of confirmed that they will take advice from Vince if they need it, But pertaining to the blood spots and where they are with NBCU and how they're going to be going upon with that, the article states, and I quote from Nick Khan, "Look, when we're specifically talking about the 10 to 11 hour on Raw, we're specifically talking to NBCU and ourselves about what we want to do moving forward. We ask, what do we do if we tweak this? That 10 to 11 hour, it's basic cable. It's not broadcast, as you know. We think that NBC would be supportive, but we're not on a final conclusion on that." And what he had to say about Finn Balor versus Edge. At that moment, I was very close to ringside, and to see him take Staples in the middle of action and to jump up and take the cage like that, such a performance. Now, again, when a wrestler bleeds or a performer bleeds, obviously it adds more depth to the match because now something has happened. And obviously blood is exciting. It really shows the war between the two individuals or multiple individuals in the ring and the stakes of the match itself. Obviously, like from what you see on AEW, there is a lot of bleeding there. Arguably one would say too much. It's like every time Jon Moxley's on screen, it's like he sweats a little bit much and he's gonna start bleeding. But a little blood in a match is not bad, depending on how much you use it. If it's like in a high spot, or it's the very tail end of the match, or even in the beginning, if it's utilized the right way, or if it's accidental, or if it looks a lot more nuanced, it works. I'm totally on the decision. I'm totally behind the decision, rather, if they wanted to bring blood back into the fold. Not on an AEW Jon Moxley type of level, though. I'm down with people that want to bleed for it. I'm down for people that really want to give their bodies to the sport and really catapult them to a next part of their career, because it happens. Blood really does create an individual. I mean, look at what happened with Becky Lynch back in 2018 when Nia Jax broke her fucking face. She became the man, like a star was born that night. And we could definitely get a lot more of those moments if they decide to go in this more, adult direction for that last hour. I think anybody could really benefit from it. I think that anybody could really take from this and utilize it in a strategic way if done properly. I think that this could be, a ratings booster. I think we could be seeing the return of a lot of matches, like First Blood matches. Fucking the I Quit matches could be crazy. No Holds Barred could be crazy. Just no DQ in general could be fucking crazy. We could be seeing a lot of the returns of certain weapons again. Like I wouldn't go as far as the barbed wire bat, but fuck, maybe a chair shot. ultimately one of my favorite, weapons of use in terms of, a WWE ring was the thumbtacks. I think thumbtacks arguably having a smaller weapon utilized could be even more cringeworthy on screen. It could definitely even bring more trauma to the situation because it's so small. And I feel like a lot more people are, in fear of getting stabbed by a million small things than one big thing. So I feel like that could add some more, charisma to matches. That could catapult the value of a match. Again, if blood is utilized right, it could create stars. It could create 5-star classics. We could be seeing the return of a lot of great pay-per-views, great matches. I could go on and on and on about it. I think it'd be a wonderful idea if they could get the solid go-ahead, the solid green light. However, I don't know if they're going to be able to, even so, if they think they're cool with it, because other than the accidentals, we've been with Peacock for a little over a year now. We still haven't really seen much change in terms of the product. In terms of like bleeding and stuff. Obviously, we've seen changes in the product with Triple H taking over, but we haven't seen anything about that because we haven't bled yet. Why start now? And I think the other thing about it is, not too long ago, I'm pretty sure that Triple H actually had spoken on the whole blood aspect thing and how it, the product today doesn't really need it and they don't really need to, revert back. And where I do agree with that, I think by slowly reintroducing a lot more of those mature aspects back into the pro wrestling, especially the WWE world, you would actually be able to broaden that audience a little bit and get people more and more comfortable about it as time goes on. Again, it's really all depending on, how much you utilize it, where you utilize it, how it fits into a story, which superstar is doing it, because 1 second is all it takes to completely switch. Again, with Becky Lynch, she was taken serious. She's one of the original four horsewomen, but at the same time, she didn't really get a huge push until that one moment where blood was involved. So again, depending on the angle and depending on where and how you use it, it could be great. And if NBCU is behind that, I'm with it. It's all down to the internals of WWE and NBCU in general, for the third hour at least. There's different things that they want to do to make it more compelling for the audience, and that is one of the things. Now, however, I don't know if we're going to be reverting back to blading. I hope that's not the case, because again, drop that blade and the whole fucking angle's ruined. Drop it and the whole angle's ruined. We've seen it multiple times, and it's been done even in recent times. Again, this could be very good for WWE in general, especially with the merge into Endeavor. Obviously, Endeavor is the home of UFC. There's a lot of legitimate violence there. So who knows? There might be a change in how things go. There might be a change in the product. We might be seeing the return of more mature content, which arguably is a very good thing, because we've been on this whole kiddie shit since 2008. So I think it's time for a change. It's been almost 20 years now. But that's all I got for today's extra. So if you guys have any ideas or what you guys think about this particular extra with Nick Khan debating on whether or not NBCU is open and down with blood in the last hour of Raw, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Be sure to subscribe to We Are Wrestling on all of our social medias. You can support me, Danny, and Don on all of our social medias right down in the description box down below. And remember, if you are not a We Are Wrestling maniac yet, please hit that subscribe button, hit those post bell notifications to be notified when another upload gets uploaded. And like always, we'll see you guys in the next one. The grind is real. Take it easy.